Video gamers are very enthusiastic about their hobby, and when they don't get their way, they become very vocal. History is filled with gamers getting angry at gaming studios for everything from price to the gameplay experience. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 6 things that gamers will hate about The Last of Us Part 1. Before we get into the video, you should know that I'll be covering some major spoilers, so if you don't want to get spoiled, now is your chance to back out. I know my saying this is going to hit my retention rate, but I'm here for you guys. Alright, don't say I didn't warn you. The ending. The Last of Us Part 1 had an ending that many people were not expecting. After Joel loses his daughter 20 years ago, he decides to become a smuggler. This is his lifestyle now, but he has a change of heart after bonding with Ellie over the course of their journey across America. On some level, Joel grows to see Ellie as his daughter he lost all those years ago, and after finding out that she has to be killed in order for the doctors to create a vaccine, Joel decides that he can't deal with losing a daughter-like figure in his life again. It's a tough move, but it's also very human. He does something good and bad at the same time. He saves Ellie's life while also condemning humanity. While it's possible to see Joel as the bad guy here, you can't help but wonder how you would respond if you were in his shoes. Gameplay. Prior to the release of the gameplay trailer, Last of Us fans assumed they'd be getting the gameplay enhancements from Part 2, specifically the ability to dodge and lay prone. But that turned out to not be the case. In the latest gameplay trailer, it didn't show any such improvements, and a senior environment texture artist at Naughty Dog said, quote, "People complain about gameplay by watching a video, but nobody actually had their hand on the controller. Having played both, there's no comparison between PS3 and PS5, and the prone would have simply broken the gameplay in the combat space as it wasn't built this way originally." Missing features. One noticeably missing feature in the remake is the factions multiplayer. The Last of Us Part 1 will not include a multiplayer mode. However, Neil Druckmann has said that Naughty Dog is working on a standalone multiplayer game, and it will be as big as other Naughty Dog games. I never got to play Factions, as I didn't have reliable internet back in the days, so it's not a big deal to me, but a lot of older players will miss this. For the last time? The original Last of Us came out in 2013. It came out towards the end of the PlayStation 3's life cycle, so the 2014 remaster for the PlayStation 4 was a welcome change. It offered a 60 FPS mode, and was overall a much better experience. People were really happy to shell out money to see what the new hardware could do. A lot of people still remember the game fondly, so to see another release is a little disheartening to some people. I'm actually looking forward to the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers over the graphic improvements, so I'll personally be buying a new copy. Before we get into the last point, if you're finding this video useful, please give it a thumbs up so it can help others, and consider subscribing if you don't want to miss more content. Price. Speaking of money, The Last of Us Part 1 will retail for $70. When many people see this as the same game from 9 years ago with a graphics overhaul, it's no wonder they jump to the conclusion that it's a cash grab by Naughty Dog. When you combine the price with all the points mentioned earlier, some people get downright angry. There is additional content that puts the remake leagues above the 2014 remaster. For example, there are a lot more photo mode options, a speedrun mode, permadeath, and a host of new accessibility features that will bring in a new crowd that couldn't play it before. But will that be enough to entice old fans to buy it for a third time? That remains to be seen.